I need more people to use my advanced GG code so I can get my own personal flavor. Please use it. Thank you. Okay, no gameplay today, just talking, but that's okay. It's an important video, and some of you guys have been wondering why you can't move super quickly, and you can't do the Warlock skating, and you can't Titan skate. Even though I have tutorials, and pretty good tutorials in my opinion, some people still can't do it, and I found out why because of my friend. I have a friend that's new to Destiny, and he really wants to move fast on Warlock. He saw me do the scroll wheel thing, and he asked me how to do it, and I showed him how to do it exactly, but he still couldn't get it to work, and it kind of got me wondering why. So I went back to my old video and I went to the comment sections, and you guys explained why some people couldn't do it and why some other people could do it. This game has a lot of pretty shitty bugs in it, and this is one of those things that honestly sucks, because if you're just less fortunate than someone else, you won't be able to do some things, especially if you're on mouse and keyboard. So it is pretty depressing, and let me show you guys. We are 10,000 away from 200,000. Please sub. I love you. So of course, you just find a staircase that's going upwards like this, or just anything that's going up. It doesn't have to be a staircase. And then you just have to scroll wheel on it. You can get a nice little boost of momentum like that and go really quickly. You'll hurt yourself sometimes if you run into the wall, but overall, it's a very useful tool for movement. And if you're new to Warlock, I would highly suggest learning how to do this, because you will be a lot better, I promise. So the reason why my friend couldn't do this is really simple. He actually has a really bad computer, and that means his FPS is really low. I turned my FPS display on the top right. It might be hard to see, but right now it's hovering around 250 to 240, and of course if I move around and start shooting and stuff, it'll go even lower, but overall it's hovering above the 200 mark, which is really good. Of course, not everyone's going to be blessed with a good computer, and that's going to hinder their performance in-game, which is pretty obvious, but it's actually going to be able to mess up some other stuff as well, including movement. You actually can't do this move if you have low FPS. So if you're sitting at about like maybe 80 to 70 frames, you can't do this. And my friend, believe it or not, sits at about 80 to 90 frames. So I've been able to do it no problem at all, sitting at 200 FPS, as you guys can see. Now, let's turn my FPS down. I'm going to cap my frames at 75. I feel like that's kind of average for a lot of people that have poor PCs. And as you guys can see, it doesn't work. And I know some people might just say I got a bad try, so I'm going to try again for you guys here, and I'm pretty consistent with it to where I'll get it to work maybe 80 to 90% of the time. So even after a couple tries here, as you see, it doesn't work. It just shoots me up in the air. Now, there is a few things I want to mention though. If your FPS in-game is low, you can't do it. But if you have a 60 Hz monitor, but you have high FPS in-game, it'll actually work. And let me explain what I mean. Let's say you have an absolute banger of a PC, you get 100 to 200 frames, and you just have a 60 Hz monitor. I'm going to cap my frames at 60 Hz for you guys right here, and I'll show you that you could actually still do it as long as your FPS in-game is still high. I'm at 60 FPS right now, and we're going to go back into the game to show you guys, and I'm not going to cut it because some people might think it's like not true or something, so you might get a black screen for a second, but here we are in game, and moment of truth, you can do it now. It's not as fast because I messed it up right there, but as you can see, it's still better than it was before. And it just shows you guys that even if you have a shitty monitor, as long as your rig is good, you can still do it. And maybe you guys don't notice the FPS difference, but 60 FPS right now is pretty brutal. But hey, you can still move pretty damn quickly. It's just not as smooth in my opinion, but it does work, and it doesn't matter if your monitor sucks. So that's one really big problem with the low FPS in-game. It sucks for people that have shitty PCs. And it's not only Warlock movement as well. I'm going to move over to Titan now. I'm not the biggest fan of Titan movement by any means, but it isn't bad whatsoever if you're on mouse and keyboard, because you can do something called Titan skating. It's not the fastest, it's not the slowest. It's pretty good, and as you guys can tell, I'm going at a respectable speed right here. Especially when you got shoulder charge and stuff, you can really combo the speed and get some good movement. But the problem, as you can probably guess, it's the same thing as Warlock, where if you have low FPS, you actually won't be able to Titan skate at all. If not, just not as fast. I'm not entirely sure, but we're going to check it out right now. Like before, I'm going to cap my frames to around 75. I know some people probably are wondering if it works at 100 FPS or something like that, and that's just going to be on you to test. But I am scroll wheeling as fast as I can, and the thing is, the jumps kind of glitch out. They don't happen as fast because it's just not working. And it's crazy to think it's an FPS issue and nothing else. And I swear to God, I'm not doing it like messing up for the video or anything. I'm doing it perfectly as I was before. I would like to say I'm pretty good with my movement, so I don't know how this hinders hunters either. Maybe there's something that kind of ruins hunter movement as well. But if you play Titan or Warlock and you have pretty low FPS in game and you're wondering why you can't move as fast as someone like me, this is why. And it's kind of shitty, but there's literally nothing you can do besides get a better computer. It kind of hurts me because my friend really wants to move quick on Warlock. He doesn't play Titan, so this is whatever. But still, I know some of you guys want to have that good movement, but if you have a shitty PC, I'm sorry, boys. You just can't do it. For the sake of science, I'm going to try 100 FPS. Some people might sit at around 90 to 100. I'm going to see if I can get the movement. And in all honesty, the higher FPS you get, the faster you're going to go. And at 100, it's a little better, but as you can see, it's still not that good, guys. Like, really, even at 100 FPS. So that'll give you an idea for the Warlock one as well. As like, just, if you're not getting around, like, 120 to, like, 160, I'd assume, you're just not going to be going super, super quick, or just as fast as you could be going. I'm kind of tempted to just upgrade my computer. I'll probably move even faster than I do right now, if anything. This is pretty shitty, man. I don't know if it's even possible to fix on their end, because it's just one of those things that they don't really have to worry about, because majority of people play on controller anyways. This is a mouse and keyboard thing only, and a PC thing only, a matter of fact, because you can't plug a mouse and keyboard in and do anything like this on console. We'll turn it up just one more time. I am curious to see what I have to be at to get the good speed. We'll go at 115 here and see if that's any better. It definitely is starting to get a lot smoother, and I think I'm starting to move a little faster. But again, it just doesn't feel as fast as I was going before. It still feels pretty slow, and you guys could probably tell as well. Let's turn it up even more. We're going to 125 FPS now, and it's definitely starting to seem better, for sure. I think that your best bet if you're ever playing in Destiny, guys, I know some people have probably told you to cap your frames. Don't cap your frames. Because if you're getting hindered in terms of less FPS, you might as well just get as much FPS as possible. This kind of just proves it too. If you're playing Warlock and you use scroll wheel, or if you're playing Titan and you use scroll wheel, do not limit your FPS, because you are literally kind of throwing by doing that. I turned off the frame cap now, and you guys are going to see I'm going to go a lot faster. And also, not just a lot faster, I'm going to stay a lot lower to the ground. The jumps aren't going to glitch out, and I'll be able to just do the scroll wheel skating a lot more frequently. For some reason, when you turn your FPS low, or if you just have low FPS, your jumps just glitch out and you stay a lot higher for some reason. Like, your jumps don't happen consecutively. It gets kind of like skipped, and that's why you can't Titan skate, sorry. So, same thing with the Warlock one as well. You guys already saw. I don't know if Bungie will ever be able to fix this, like I said, but I hope this was helpful. Don't limit your FPS if you want to move fast. And I think that's about it. I don't know if FPS actually hinders anything else. There probably is other factors as well that makes it worse to have low FPS, like aiming and stuff, but that's just the main thing. Like, there are actually gameplay differences if you have lower FPS. Thank you guys again for watching, and like always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.